Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Naresh Mago and with me is Gaurav Sharma with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches financing facility of 1 lakh crore rupees under Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. Also releases sixth installment of 17,000 crore rupees to over 8.5 crore farmer beneficiaries under PM Kisan scheme. 12 islands of Andaman and Nicobar chosen for expansion of high-impact projects, says Prime Minister. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says import embargo on 101 items to be introduced to boost indigenization of defence production. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal exhorts traders community to fully contribute towards Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign, and India touches a new peak of conducting over 7 lakh tests of coronavirus samples in a single day. Recovery rate reaches 68.78%. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today launched a financing facility of 1 lakh crore rupees under the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund for agri-entrepreneurs, startups, agri-tech players and farmer groups for post-harvest management and nurturing farm assets. Only 30 days after the Cabinet formally approved the scheme, today the first sanction of over 1,000 crore rupees was made to over 2,280 farmer societies. The event was conducted through video conference and was attended by lakhs of farmers. Mr. Modi also released the sixth installment of 17,000 crore rupees to more than 8.5 crore farmer beneficiaries under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi PM Kisan scheme. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister said the objective of making farmers self-sufficient is being fulfilled through PM Kisan scheme.
इस योजना का जो लक्ष्य था वो लक्ष्य हासिल हो रहा है। हर किसान परिवार तक सीधी मदद पहुंचे और जरूरत के समय पहुंचे, इस उद्देश्य में ये योजना सफल रही है। बीते 1.5 साल में इस योजना के माध्यम से 75,000 करोड़ रुपए सीधे किसानों के बैंक खाते में जमा हो चुके। इसमें से 22,000 करोड़ रुपए था कोरोना के कारण लगे लॉकडाउन के दौरान किसानों तक पहुंचाए गए।
Mr. Modi said this scheme provides a good opportunity for startups in agriculture to avail the benefits and scale their operations, thereby creating an ecosystem that reaches farmers in every corner of the country. The Prime Minister also appealed to farmers to use fertilizers in lesser quantity.
हमें हमारी धरती माता को भी बचाना है। जिस प्रकार से हम आंख बंद करके अनाप शनाप यूरिया का उपयोग करते हैं, पूरी धरती माता हमारी तबाह हो रही है। तो हमारे किसान वो ये तय कर सकते हैं कि अभी अगर वो 5 थैली यूरिया लेते हैं तो आगे से 3 थैली में ही चलाएंगे। उसका पैसा बचेगा, ये हमारी धरती माता बचेगी और किसान का बच्चों का भविष्य उज्जवल हो जाएगा।
Mr. Modi also interacted with farmers of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar was also present on the occasion. Home Minister Amit Shah has expressed his gratitude to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for launching the 1 lakh crore rupee Agriculture Infrastructure Fund approved by the Cabinet. He also thanked the Prime Minister for transferring 17,000 crore rupees to the accounts of 8.5 crore farmers under PM Kisan for the development of agriculture sector in rural areas. In a series of tweets, the Home Minister said, Agriculture Infrastructure Fund will accelerate the creation of many infrastructure projects so that farmers can get the true value for their produce. He said this will generate new employment opportunities and will also strengthen the rural economy. The Home Minister further added that agriculture is the foundation of the Indian economy and the Modi government has been striving to strengthen it for the last 6 years.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said 12 islands of Andaman and Nicobar have been chosen for the expansion of high-impact projects. He said this during his interaction with BJP workers of Andaman and Nicobar Islands through video conferencing. Mr. Modi said in Andaman and Nicobar, the government is going to lay emphasis on industries related to seafood, organic products and coconut-based products. He said the entire nation needs to progress for the development of New India. He stressed that government's work should reach out to everyone.
नए भारत के निर्माण के लिए पूरे देश का संतुलित विकास आवश्यक है। हमने सुनिश्चित किया है कि सरकार भले ही एक जगह से काम करती हो, लेकिन उसके कार्यों का लाभ देश के कोने कोने तक पहुंचना चाहिए। हमने समाज की आखिरी पंक्ति में खड़े व्यक्ति पर ही सिर्फ वही नहीं, बल्कि देश के आखिरी छोर में बसे व्यक्ति पर भी फोकस किया है। इसी का नतीजा है कि किसी योजना या कार्यक्रम के लॉन्चिंग से लेकर उसके क्रियान्वयन तक गवर्नेंस के हर पहलू को देश भर के सभी इलाकों में ले जाया गया है।
The interaction comes a day before the launch of undersea optical fiber cable OFC between Chennai and Port Blair. About 200 to 250 workers of the BJP units in Rangat and Diglipur, along with the Port Blair unit, took part in the event. The Prime Minister was informed about the relief works conducted by the BJP workers during the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch the modern submarine telecom cable system connecting Andaman and Nicobar Islands with Chennai tomorrow. The Prime Minister will dedicate the country's longest and unique submarine cable system through video conferencing from New Delhi. The underwater cables for a 2,300-kilometer distance from Chennai to 8 major islands in the Union Territory have been laid by the public sector BSNL under the Universal Service Obligation Fund. The cost of the strategic project is 1,224 crore rupees. It was executed in a record 2 years. With this, the islanders and their visitors can avail high-speed and reliable internet connectivity. More from our correspondent.
The places in the Union Territory getting connected using the submarine cables include its capital city of Port Blair, Swaraj Dweep, Little Andaman, Car Nicobar, Kamorta, Great Nicobar, Long Island and Rangat. It will enable the rollout of even 5G services in future. At the initial stage of the commissioning of the project, the islands can get a data speed of 400 gigabytes per second, says Mr. Munindranath, Chief General Manager of the BSNL Chennai, who executed the project.
Presently, Andaman and Nicobar Islands is connected with the satellite bandwidth of about 4G capacity, which is limited and costly. Now with the launch of submarine cable project, we are providing a total capacity of 400 Gbps. It is about 100 times more than the satellite bandwidth which is existing currently.
The people of Andaman and Nicobar have very high degree of emotional connectivity with mainland India. Now it is getting further reinforced by the fiber optic submarine cable, providing connectivity to have a seamless data network. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
The Ministry of Defence is now ready for a big push to the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said his ministry will introduce import embargo on 101 items beyond the given timeline to boost indigenization of defence production. Mr. Singh said Prime Minister has given a clarion call for a self-reliant India based on the 5 pillars: economy, infrastructure, system, demography and demand. In a series of tweets, the Defence Minister said, taking a cue from the Prime Minister's call, the Ministry of Defence has prepared a list of 101 items for which there would be an embargo on the import beyond the timelines indicated against them. Mr. Singh said this is a big step towards self-reliance in defence. He said this decision will offer a great opportunity to the Indian defence industry to manufacture the items in the embargoed list by using their own design and development capabilities.
Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has exhorted the traders community to fully contribute towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. Speaking to the traders fraternity on the occasion of the National Traders Day today through a virtual interaction, the minister said that they should undertake a customer awareness drive to make people buy made in India goods. He also called upon them to act as whistleblowers in exposing the unscrupulous traders and businessmen who import poor quality goods from unfriendly countries. Mr. Goyal said that the trading community will benefit a lot from the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. He said that the government has already put restrictions on many imported items which can be easily produced in the country, like agarbatti, sports goods, televisions, telephone and tires. He estimated that almost 10 lakh crore worth of imports can be easily substituted with indigenously produced goods. He asked the traders to push for the Prime Minister's clarion call, vocal for local. The Commerce and Industry Minister also spoke at the inauguration of the 4th edition of the National Public Procurement Conclave organized by the Government of India by Government e-Marketplace GEM in association with Confederation of Indian Industry CII. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Piyush Goyal called upon more and more buyers and sellers to join the government e-marketplace. He lauded the success of GEM in becoming a game changer in government procurement, expressing the confidence that GEM will be able to unlock the value and save money for the nation's development. He said that it has helped in transparent, seamless, easy, efficient and faster procurements. The death toll in the fire accident at Vijayawada in Andhra Pradesh has risen to 11. The incident occurred when a fire broke out in a hotel turned COVID center in Vijayawada this morning. At least 30 COVID patients were getting treatment in the COVID center, and another 10 medical staff were assisting them at the time of the tragedy. The fire department, police and NDRF teams rescued COVID patients and shifted them to the nearby COVID centers. The condition of some of the patients is said to be critical. Andhra Pradesh Home Minister Sucharita visited the accident spot and gave necessary guidelines to the officials. AP Governor Biswa Bhushan Harichandan has expressed grief over the fire accident and has asked the officials to extend medical support to the affected people. Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy declared 50 lakh rupees ex gratia to each of the kin of the deceased. The CM also directed the officials to take necessary steps to provide better medical facilities to the victims and also ordered an inquiry into the accident. An ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees each from the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund has been announced to the next of kin of those who lost their lives in the fire at the COVID center. In a tweet, the Prime Minister's office said 50,000 rupees each would be given to those injured due to the fire.
In yet another ceasefire violation, Pakistan Army initiated unprovoked and indiscriminate firing with small arms and heavy mortar shelling along the line of control in Shahpur, Kirni and Krishna Ghati sectors of Poonch district in Jammu and Kashmir this evening. PRO Defence Colonel Davinder Anand has said that Pakistani Army troops initiated unprovoked and indiscriminate firing and heavy mortar shelling along the LOC at about 1750 hours. The alert Indian Army troop guarding the fence are retaliating befittingly with equal caliber. The exchange of fire continued till reports last came in. There are no reports of damage to any property and loss of any life from our side. Details are awaited. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches financing facility of 1 lakh crore rupees under the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, also releases the 6th installment of 17,000 crore rupees to over 8.5 crore farmer beneficiaries under the PM Kisan scheme. 12 islands of Andaman and Nicobar chosen for expansion of high-impact projects, says Prime Minister. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says import embargo on 101 items to be introduced to boost indigenization of defence production. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal exhorts traders community to fully contribute towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. And India touches a new peak of conducting over 7 lakh tests of coronavirus samples in a single day. Recovery rate reaches 68.78%. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on Twitter handle AIR News Alerts.
India achieved a remarkable feat today by performing more than 7 lakh tests of coronavirus samples in a single day, the Union Health Ministry has said, continuing the streak of more than 6 lakh tests in a single day for several days. India's tests have grown exponentially. During the last 24 hours, 7,19,364 tests were done. The ministry said states have been advised to firmly focus on comprehensive tracking, prompt isolation and effective treatment. Several meetings have been held in the past week to engage with the states that are showing a higher fatality rate. India has recorded the highest number of recoveries in a single day, with 53,879 COVID patients having recovered and having been discharged. With this, the total number of recovered cases has touched another high of over 14,80,000 today. This is more than twice the number of active cases. The recovery rate has reached 68.78%. The case fatality rate has further improved and reached 2.01%. A total of 1,300 new confirmed cases of coronavirus have been reported in Delhi during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 1,45,427. The Delhi government has confirmed that over 1,30,000 people affected with corona have been cured so far. In the last 24 hours, 1,225 people have recovered and 13 deaths were reported in the national capital, taking the toll to 4,111. Presently, the total number of active corona cases in the national capital is 10,729.
In Madhya Pradesh, the number of COVID-19 cases has risen to around 38,157 after 859 fresh positive cases were reported in the past 24 hours in the state. With 15 patients succumbing to the infection during the day, the death toll has reached 977. Our correspondent has filed this report.
As per the State Health Bulletin, 732 coronavirus patients were discharged from the hospitals yesterday, taking the number of recovered cases in the state to 28,353. There are now 8,827 active cases in Madhya Pradesh. The number of COVID-19 cases in Central Reserve Police Force Group Center in Gwalior in the state increased by 60 to reach 245. Most personnel have been quarantined at the Group Center's hospital. Gwalior has 2,809 cases, making it the third worst affected district after Indore and Bhopal. The total number of cases in Indore is 8,343 and 7,539 in Bhopal. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Tamil Nadu, the total number of COVID-19 cases has reached over 2,96,000, with nearly 6,000 people testing positive for the infection today. 6,020 others were discharged after recovery, while 119 patients succumbed to the viral disease in the last 24 hours. The total number of recoveries has crossed 2,38,000.
The Manipur Health Department has advised people of the state to stop wearing or using chlorine dioxide releasing cord device virus shutout made in foreign countries, which is being used among the general population. In a press release, State Health Department spokesperson said that the use of the device has increased among the public. Chlorine dioxide is an aqueous solution and is used in disinfection of drinking water. The virus-destroying capacity in the spray form or slow-emitting gas form is not yet established. The State Health Department said it does not recommend the use of such unproven devices for prevention of COVID-19. In Manipur, the device is being sold at almost all the medicine shops in the state at escalated rates due to the huge demand. Meanwhile, in the past 24 hours, 118 people, including 28 personnel from the Central Armed Police Force, have tested positive for COVID-19, while 117 people were discharged from hospitals after recovery. The total number of affected people in Manipur has reached 3,753. In Meghalaya, 39 new COVID-19 cases were reported today, taking the total number of active cases to 566, while 67 individuals have recovered. The total number of recoveries has reached 490. So far, the total number of confirmed cases detected in Meghalaya stands at 1,062, which includes 566 active cases, 490 recovered, and 6 deceased.
In Assam, the Health Department would provide a pulse oximeter and free first-line supportive medicines to COVID-19 infected people preferring to stay in home isolation in Guwahati from tomorrow. In a tweet, Health Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma said the Health Department has also activated the telemedicine service for them through 104. He said it would be expanded to other places soon. Our correspondent reports that 1,800 people were discharged from hospitals after recovery during the last 24 hours. There are nearly 17,000 active cases in the state. The News Service Division of All India Radio, in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight, will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Rheumatologist at Sir Gangaram Hospital in Delhi, Dr. Lieutenant General Ved Chaturvedi will participate in the discussion. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. In our series Experts Week on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, member Health in Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Paul urged everyone to follow social distancing in order to break the chain transmission.
अपने बुजुर्गों को ख्याल रखना, अलग रखना, दूरी बनानी, लेकिन सोशली उनको, इमोशनली उनको दूर नहीं करना, और इसी तरह से जो दूरी बनानी है अपने कोवर्कर के साथ में, जहां हम जा रहे हैं, जहां हम खड़े हो रहे हैं, लाइन में खड़े हो रहे हैं, शॉप पे हैं, वर्क प्लेस पे है, बहुत जरूरी है। और साथ साथ मैं ये भी याद दिलाऊंगा कि हमें बार बार अपने हाथ भी धोने हैं या हैंड को सैनिटाइज करना है।
Dr. Sanjay Pandey of Govind Ballabh Pant Hospital, Delhi, spoke about the use of masks, saying it is important to wear them while stepping out of home.
There is no treatment right now for coronavirus. It's very important to maintain the social distancing and the isolation. There are different guidelines, and the WHO says that person should be wearing mask. There is no doubt about that.
The Enforcement Directorate ED has questioned Shouvik Chakraborty, brother of actor Riya Chakraborty, for about 18 hours in connection with a money laundering case linked to the death of actor Sushant Singh Rajput. Shouvik left the agency's office in Mumbai at around 6:30 this morning after an overnight questioning session that began around noon yesterday. Officials said Shouvik's statement was recorded under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and he was asked about his personal businesses, income, investments and financial dealings with his sister and Rajput. He was grilled by the agency for a few hours on Friday as well. On the same day, his sister and prime accused in the case, Riya, was questioned by the agency for the first time for about 8 hours. On Friday, the ED had also questioned Riya's father, Indrajit Chakraborty, her chartered accountant, Ritesh Shah, and business manager, Shruti Modi, who also worked for Rajput. Riya and her father, Indrajit Chakraborty, have been summoned to appear before the agency again tomorrow. President Ramnath Kovind is honored and felicitated 202 freedom fighters from across the country on the occasion of the 78th anniversary of Quit India Day. In a statement, Rashtrapati Bhavan said, every year the President hosts an at-home reception at Rashtrapati Bhavan on the anniversary of the Quit India movement to honor freedom fighters. This year, the at-home reception could not be organized in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. The President has requested the states and union territories governments to honor and felicitate the freedom fighters with a shawl and angavastram by district magistrate or additional district magistrate or sub-divisional magistrate at their homes on behalf of the President. The Rashtrapati Bhavan has provided angavastram and shawls to the state and union territories governments through their resident commissioners.
Railways will observe Cleanliness Week from tomorrow to mark the Independence Day. During the week, a special cleanliness drive will be launched and special focus will be given to clean the tracks, stations, offices, colonies, work sites, edge of stations and other areas near the railway premises. Railway Ministry said after focusing on cleanliness of tracks, special attention will be given to plastic waste collection along with the other waste. With lesser number of passenger trains running on tracks, the opportunity will be utilized to clean the tracks with visible results. International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples or World Tribal Day is being observed today. The day is aimed at promoting and protecting the rights of the world's indigenous population. The date recognizes the first meeting of the United Nations Working Group on Indigenous Populations in Geneva in 1982. The day is celebrated on August the 9th every year from 1994 in accordance with the declaration by the United Nations. This year, the World Tribal Day celebrations are focused on preservation and documentation of tribal languages. In Tamil Nadu, anthropologists have identified over 500 tribes with their unique culture, way and views of life as well as dialects. Of these, 6, the Todas, Paniyar, Kattunaikars, Irudas, Kurumbas and Kothars can be seen in the Nilgiri district that nestles in the Western Ghats.
World Tribal Day was also celebrated in several districts, including Dhule and Nashik in Maharashtra today. To mark the day, a vegetable festival cum exhibition was organized by the State Agriculture Department in both the districts. We have a report.
While inaugurating a vegetable festival cum exhibition in Dhule district, MLA from Sakri, Manjula Gavit said that this festival will introduce a new tribal food culture in the state. The festival received a good response from Sakri Taluka and a total of 46 types of legumes were presented at the festival. Speaking at another vegetable festival cum exhibition in Nashik, State Agriculture Minister Dada Bhuse also emphasized on the importance of legumes. He said the Balasaheb Thackeray Smart Farmers scheme will promote organic farming through goof farming and farmer pharma production companies so that farmers can brand their product themselves. He said a right market will be made available in the cities by providing permanent space for the sale of these legumes. Sweetie Jain, AR News, Mumbai.
In Kerala, 17 more bodies were recovered from the landslide hit Rajamala in Idukki district, taking the death toll to 43. Our correspondent has the details.
Amid heavy rain and fog, rescue and search operations are on full swing in the landslide hit region. 17 bodies were recovered from the region today. Joint search operations are being undertaken on war footing as soil is being dug 10 to 15 feet below ground level in adverse weather condition. Authorities informed that the search will be continued till the last missing person is being found. Heavy rain is wreaking havoc in the state. Flood-like situations prevailing in many low-lying regions. The high-range areas are on high alert as multiple landslides are being reported. People are being shifted from flood and landslide-prone regions to relief camps. Water level in all major rivers are rising, causing alarming situation in riverside areas. Met Department predicts very heavy rain to continue in Kerala for next 48 hours. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
In Bihar, flood fury continues in the affected areas of the state. Over 75 lakh people in over 16 districts are reeling under the impact of floods. The worst affected districts are Darbhanga, Muzaffarpur and East and West Champaran. Vehicular traffic at several places in Sitamarhi, Muzaffarpur and Darbhanga has been disrupted following damage to roads. A fresh spell of rain today brought some relief to people living in Delhi from the sultry weather conditions prevailing in the city. The Met Department said light to moderate rains were reported from many places, including IGI Airport, Dwarka, Safdarjung and Bahadurgarh. It forecast moderate to heavy rains in the national capital till Wednesday. The Indian Meteorological Department IMD today said that heavy to very heavy rainfall is likely in several parts of Maharashtra due to a low pressure area formed over northwest and adjoining west central Bay of Bengal. Most places in Maharashtra received rain or thunderstorms yesterday. An IMD official said heavy rainfall is expected over the Vidarbha region tomorrow, while Madhya Maharashtra would receive thunderstorms accompanied with lightning. Mumbai and other parts of the western coast are likely to witness strong winds with speeds reaching up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. The IMD yesterday said the southwest monsoon is expected to become active again over Mumbai and other parts of coastal Maharashtra from tomorrow after moderate rainfall in the city and neighbouring areas in the last 2 days.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. It will have a minimum temperature of around 25 degrees Celsius and a maximum temperature of 33 degrees. Mumbai will experience a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 31 degrees. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 23 and 34 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 32 degrees. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be around 17 degrees, while the maximum will be 30 degrees. The city will experience thunderstorm with rain. Ladakh will have a partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards the afternoon or the evening or at night. The temperature will hover between 18 and 32 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 17 and 37 degrees Celsius. It will experience thunderstorm with rain. In Muzaffarabad, the minimum temperature will be 20 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be 34 degrees.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches financing facility of 1 lakh crore rupees under Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. Also releases 6th installment of 17,000 crore rupees to over 8.5 crore farmer beneficiaries under PM Kisan scheme. 12 islands of Andaman and Nicobar chosen for expansion of high-impact projects, says Prime Minister. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says import embargo on 101 items to be introduced to boost indigenization of defence production. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal exhorts traders community to fully contribute towards Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. And India touches a new peak of conducting over 7 lakh tests of coronavirus samples in a single day. Recovery rate reaches 68.78%. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.